everybody. Welcome back. I'm your host, Kristen Hajar, and this is Rise in Mourning, Finding Jesus at the Threshing Floor. If you've been walking through this series with me, you know by now that healing doesn't come in one big moment. It comes in pieces, in quiet lessons, and in tiny choices that start to rebuild your life. Today, I want to share one of the most valuable things I learned in early therapy, something my therapist, Erin, told me that changed the way I think about grief. Before I continue, I want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and comment down below, or follow my podcast for those of you listening. And you can find me on my socials at Rise in Mourning. And don't forget to check the description box down below, where I may put extra tips and resources, prayers, or products I've mentioned. Thanks. Not long after starting therapy, I remember sitting in Erin's office, completely worn down. I told her there's a hole inside of me and nothing fills it. She looked at me gently and said, "That hole will never be filled, Kristen, but you can learn to grow around it." At first, that sounded impossible, almost unfair. I wanted the hole gone. Over time, I began to understand what she meant. That space left by loss doesn't disappear. It becomes a part of who you are, but you can soften the edges. You can build new life around it, not in spite of it. Erin described it like making soup. She said healing is like an experiment in your kitchen. You keep adding ingredients until the flavor starts to feel right. You might add exercise or rest or prayer and then taste it. Maybe it's still missing a little something. So next time you add a different ingredient. Time with friends, a walk outside, listening to worship music, or journaling. Or maybe it's something that you need to remove from your life. Some ingredients you keep forever. Some you set aside for the season when you need them. It's trial and error, and it's okay. You're going to figure it out. In the beginning, I didn't have any ingredients. I didn't even know who I was anymore or what I liked. Everything felt dull and heavy. But little by little, I started experimenting. I wanted a way to put one foot in front of the other. I realized exercise helped clear my mind. Reading and Bible study fed my soul. Long baths helped my body to relax when it forgotten how to. Worship music, that one became my heartbeat. And doing creative things, learning calligraphy, reading, starting something new, helped me get out of my head and into the present. Those became my ingredients, and most still are. They didn't erase grief or pain, but they helped soften it. They helped me cope and endure. Erin also told me this that really stuck with me. She said, grief takes energy. Imagine your battery starts at 100 every morning, but 99% of that goes towards just surviving the day. And that's the truth. Grief is exhausting. So when you only have 1% to give, you have to use it wisely. Use that last little bit for something that truly helps, something that nourishes instead of drains you. Sometimes that means saying no to plans. Sometimes it means lying still with worship music playing and letting God fill the silence. And sometimes it's a small thing, like lighting a candle or sitting in the sun. Those moments matter too. They become your lifelines. Looking back now, I see how God was using all of it. The therapy, the metaphors, the little experiments to help rebuild me. He didn't take away my hole, but he helped me grow around it. That's what healing in Christ looks like. Not forgetting, but forming, something living out of what remains. And the beautiful thing is, your ingredients will be unique to you. Maybe yours will be gardening. I tried that one, but it didn't stick. I do not have a green thumb, but it was very therapeutic while it lasted. Maybe yours will be journaling, painting, dancing, watching movies, or walking. Whatever it is, pay attention to what brings you even a little flicker of peace, because that's where God's grace is often hiding. And for me, oftentimes I found that I needed to get out of my head, that there was a lot of ruminating thoughts, flashbacks, all those kinds of things. And I needed to sometimes ground myself, but mostly I just needed to get out of my head and try to be present. And a lot of those things that I was doing, like learning how to do Canva projects, reading, all the things that I mentioned are the things that help me get out of my brain. And in grief, that's kind of like the mental juggle that we have, that we need to ground ourselves. And at the same time, we also need to be present and get out of our heads. So it just depends on the day too. That's when you reach for something that will help you get out of that space. That's when finding these ingredients help you, because you need to pull those out when you need to decide what to do with yourself. Do I need a little bit of grounding? Do I need to center myself? Do I need to get out of my head? What do I do? So you need to figure out your ingredients in order to, when these things do happen, that you can have them ready and say, you know what, I need to pray right now. So I encourage you to find your ingredients, start experimenting, because it really does help in this journey, especially when you're early in grief. Finding these ingredients really do help you when you are feeling, if you're listening today and you feel stuck, start small. Ask yourself, what helps me breathe? Then do one of those things today, even for 5 minutes. Your healing won't happen all at once, but every ingredient you add becomes a little act of faith, a quiet way of saying, I'm still here and God help me grow. And I promise you, He will. And I'm proof, sitting here today speaking with you guys. And I really, truly hope that I'm helping those of you out there grow in your faith, just help you in these darkest moments, because I know and I understand what that feels like. And especially if you feel alone, I hope that you realize that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be today. It might be in 3 years or 5 years like it was for me. But I promise you, even doing this podcast, I have looked back and I've worked on episodes and things, and I realize in those moments, like, wow, God was there. I didn't realize it. I didn't feel it. I didn't see it at the time, but God was there and He had His hand in everything. And I just took those little leaps of faith and those opportunities, and everything that my therapist told me to do, I did. All these things led me to today. And doing this podcast, I really realized that, like, God was there, is there, He's here. And I just really hope that you guys realize that too in your moments of despair and pain and loss and suffering. That's my hope. In the next episode, I want to talk about how my faith and therapy began to intersect, how God met me in those counseling sessions and started showing me that emotional healing and spiritual healing are never separate. Until then, take care of yourself, add one small ingredient of peace today, and trust that God can turn even that into something beautiful. Because even in mourning, we rise.